right, so next we're going to get into some clickbait articles. I kind of know we don't really dive into this much anymore because they're getting so ridiculous. I kind of avoid them on our social media at this point. I kind of brings us out of the loop almost because everybody else posts it and I'm just posting fucking pictures of cool concept arts and shit, and that's it.
Yeah. Thank you at Boss Logic on Instagram.
Yeah, he's supporting our channel, our page, because I just don't even feel like posting this clickbait.
Yeah, well, and we're gonna get into the exact reason why, because it's usually debunked like very short after.
DC's role lately with Matt Reeves, what he did recently, and a couple other things, and just now they've immediately come back on Twitter and just be like, "Fuck your couch," like you know what. That's not true. It's all there. You guys are totally misinformed. And once again, most people are not going to retract their statements or anything like that.
Never. I have yet to see it.
Justice League is still unwatchable.
Yeah, exactly.
Because no one seems to...
According to some jerk off.
Yeah, so no one seems to believe in credibility anymore. We do our best to stay credible here. We read what we find. We try to give the quotes. That's what you look for, the direct quotes from people. You don't look for the articles of sources, which comes up in several stupid articles that we saw and that we read. There was one, I'm just going to briefly skim over it, saying Jeff Johns felt that Man of Steel needed to be lighter, or he wanted it to be lighter. And it was just a whole thing about a source says before Man of Steel came out, Jeff Johns wanted it to be lighter, it needed more humor, and it just says the source said the higher-ups ignored him or didn't care about his opinion.
Right.
But now he's in charge.
Yeah, and even though Jeff Johns wasn't a part of DC, other than on the comic book side, from what I remember.
Right, but he was still a producer on a lot of things. Like, he was producer on Green Lantern.
Okay.
And so he was still involved in some of the movie aspects of things. But, like, he even did that thing with Kevin Smith, where before Suicide Squad and BVS came out, he was on, I don't know, something with Kevin Smith on CBS or something like that. It was like a news thing. It was pretty much just a 30-minute
I remember that.
Promotional thing for all their fucking movies coming out.
Right, yeah.
It was like for Suicide Squad, and BVS might have been out already.
I think it was.
I cannot remember.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
I think it was right around BVS, because it was a part of some marketing, and it definitely wasn't Man of Steel. So it was either for Suicide Squad, which BVS would have already been released.
Yeah, I think it was for Suicide Squad, because I remember them showing a lot of Suicide Squad footage.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah, I do remember that. But I still felt, well, BVS time, Jeff Johns was, he
was getting involved.
Yeah. I think, he was a lot more involved than around the time of Man of Steel, at least. But who knows? Yeah. Anyways, back to...
Yeah, so that was just like one clickbait article. It was all based off a source saying this. At one point, Jeff Johns thought Man of Steel should be lighter. I'm like, all right.
Right.
What's your point?
Has Jeff Johns said that? Where's his quote?
Like I said, Jeff Johns was a producer on Green Lantern. We saw how that turned out. So
yeah, that was lighter.
And that's his baby. Like he brought back Green Lantern in the comics. So that's his baby, and they still fucked that up somehow. So I don't even know where to start with this clickbait. Do you have a point where to start?
So basically,
Fuck the Vulture?
I have the article I have pulled up is TheVerge.com.
Yeah, but their sources are from the Vulture.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Vulture.com.
Yeah, from Vulture. An extensive report by Abraham Reisman over at Vulture.
Can't believe a guy named Abraham. What the fuck? I don't know why, but
Abe Lincoln?
No, I said hey Blinken.
Hold the reins, man.
I'm on the west side. I'm on the east side.
Oh, look at us just roping all these movie references. We got Terminator, which we failed like the past couple episodes not to bring in Terminator somehow.
I don't know if we're ever going to do a review for Terminator. I started thinking about that. Like, should we ever even do a review?
No, it just has to be like an Easter egg in every single one of our episodes.
It has to be plopped in somehow.
Exactly.
Maybe I'll just randomly throw it in the middle of a part. We'll be talking super serious, and I'll just dun-dun-dun-dun. Just have it in the middle.
There you go. That'd be perfect. So the title from The Verge is, this is what I read. DC is officially stepping away from its expanded cinematic universe. Standalone films are the new name of the game. And then it goes into, DC's cinematic universe has experienced some difficulties, how Wonder Woman was the one to kind of bring that to light. And now they're going to be using the Wonder Woman model moving forward of just straight standalone movies. Basically, the Vulture interviewed Diane Nelson. She's the DC Entertainment president. Again, this is one of those instances where they are taking quotes and making them fit their narrative, in my opinion. You could probably find the article.
Well, we have their debunking here after you're done.
Right.
So.
Okay. So basically, it says, as DC Entertainment President Diane Nelson puts it, going forward, there's no insistence upon an overall storyline or interconnectivity in that universe. Instead, Nelson says that the audience will quote, see the DC movie universe being a universe, but one that comes from the heart of the filmmaker who's creating them. And then, end quote, rather than the more intertwined storytellings we've seen so far with Zack Snyder films. Always a point to kick him down. Like we've seen in Zack Snyder films. Then the article kind of goes on and it talks about it's not the most clearly articulated strategy, but moving away from the interconnected DCEU makes sense for the studio.
It's fucking perfectly clear. What the fuck are they talking about? Yeah. It makes perfect fucking sense. If you're not fucking a goddamn article writer that just wants to make money off of clickbait, then yeah, it makes perfect fucking sense. It's a perfectly priced and it's the same universe, but it's not held to that universe.
Yeah.
It's not held. They're not going to have 1,500 Easter eggs talking about the fucking Avengers and the incident that happened in New York like they do in every other fucking MCU movie.
Right.
They're not going to bring that up every 3 fucking seconds like they do there. It's simple. It's a very simple concept.
Yeah.
And it was said very clearly. He even has a direct fucking quote and he fucks it up.
Well, what's funny
That's why you don't trust Abraham.
Exactly. Wait, what?
I don't know.
Some Abrahams did some good stuff, right? Okay.
Yes, just in case anybody wants to take it that far.
We gotta have some diversity on this podcast.
Yeah, we got to disagree on something.
Yeah. All right. So as you were going on that rant, I was scrolling through the rest of this article. That is literally the only quote. Yeah. That's the only quote he has. And yeah, he totally takes that. And as you read the article, he's basically saying, oh no, they're going standalone. But no, some of them are going to be, they will be connected to the DC universe and then other ones won't. So they're not going to be, stuck with casting like Jared Leto was brought up. So in his prequel movie, if they have a Joker prequel, that's not going to have to do with so this guy basically, who I don't even know who fucking did The Verge. It's Chaim Gartenberg. Wow. Yeah, you sound like a real douche nozzle. Chaim, like not chain, but Chaim Gartenberg.
Fucking vegan parents.
yeah, pretty much. So, anyways, he goes on this fucking.
Might as well name the kid Kale.
Oh man,
he's a superfood. Look how healthy fried kale. Anyway,
so the debunking.
Pretty much immediately, of course, somebody's Twitter gets lit up, meaning Jeff Johns. A guy named Kenneth at Jeff Johns here. The cinematic universe has only begun, and you're already pulling the rug out from under it? ? Please keep the universe connected. Jeff Johns just simply puts a picture of the whole DC family, like the comic picture here, and it says it's 100%. And it's all 100% connected, meaning it's just going to be like Wonder Woman, or like, if you want to use an MCU example, I think Ant-Man was a fairly good example. They brought the Avengers once, and Tony Stark's dad was in the beginning, Jose Stark.
Right.
That's the only connection. I actually remember now it's
nice.
It's Howard Stark, but we're gonna call him
Jose.
We're gonna call him Jose Stark from now on. But Jose Stark is in the beginning of the movie, and then they make one Avengers reference. That's the whole movie.
Yeah.
That's it.
And I do get the comparison. If you want to say the movies are going to be more like Wonder Woman and less like Batman v Superman, because Batman v Superman had a lot of setting up a universe. That was kind of the goal. You can tell the way that the movie played out is that it was, all right, we have to catapult the universe from here. But now, from what Zack Snyder has done, he has catapulted the universe, and we can now start pulling from what he's already started, from what he's built. But, so you can write an article and say, okay, it sounds like they're going to go more the Wonder Woman, still a part of the same universe, but very subtle references, versus the, all these Easter eggs and like, oh, fuck, what the hell is going on here kind of thing.
Right.
And so that's a better comparison than what the fuck these clickbaiter articles want to say is, oh no, they're going to have like 3 different universes. And, obviously the one guy who tweeted at Jeff Johns was confused. And I'm actually glad he did that, because that was my initial thought was, okay, are they really just going to be like, oh, no, forget it. It's not interconnected anymore. We're going to confuse the shit out of our audience.
No, they're just making it easier on the directors, the people making the film, to make it like, okay, you're not obligated to mention 500 times that Superman is out there or that some other dick bag is out there. It's just going to be...
What do you mean, other dick bag?
Batman.
Okay, all right. Just want a clarification. I love the fact, and this is something not to shit on Marvel like we always do because it's fun, but there's a lot of articles that you can read, whether they're clickbait or not, that people struggle with on the Marvel side of things because Marvel has a very no, this is you can tell this is a theme you're going to use. Other than Guardians of the Galaxy, they all kind of have a similar feel. It's awesome if you are giving the director okay, we want you to stick to the same universe. We probably want you to use a little bit, but it's going to be your vision. And I think that's fantastic. We're going to have Jeff Johns overseeing it. Think of it like fucking comic books. Right. You have this interconnected universe within the comic books, but then they have their own stories. They have their own sideline stuff.
Or even like the Netflix series of the MCU.
Yeah, there you go.
Not Tony Stark's ass is never going to be on there.
No.
But it's still in that kind of city. New York is still getting fucked.
Yeah.
By super villains, I guess. But it's not part of that. It's just that's what they're going to do. It's an easier route for them to take than trying to make a bunch of connected bullshit like Thor Ragnarok, where they're going to have the Hulk and Thor, and it's going to have to lead to something for Infinity War. It's a big process, and I think they're just going to make it a little bit easier on themselves and make it more like Wonder Woman. I mean, it's pretty simple. Even James Gunn was quoted saying that Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is a apparently we're all taking, or at least these article writers are taking standalone as a different phrasing than what directors and people in the industry think standalone means, because James Gunn was even quoted saying Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is a standalone because there is nothing that ties it to the MCU.
Right.
Other than the fact that Thanos.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that there was no Infinity Stone. There was nothing in it. Spoiler. There's no other characters other than the Guardians of the Galaxy. So he was calling it a standalone film.
Yeah.
Just like Matt Reeves called the Batman movies probably standalone movies because they're not going to be connected to that universe.
Yes, thank you. I wanted to bring that up because we've crossed this fucking bridge already once. You don't have to. Sorry, I'm fucking hitting you now. But we've been down this road with Matt Reeves. So why on earth are we regurgitating and you're taking a very small quote and totally, misinterpreting it to fit your own narrative. So congratulations, Chaim.
And Abraham.
Yeah, and Abraham.
Because he started it with his shitty ass quoting.
And his shitty ass name.
And Proclamation Emancipation, motherfucker. Anyway. No, just kidding. Just kidding.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, so that's just one little thing. One other thing that I thought people were really obsessed about unnecessarily is apparently during this whole discussion / interview with the Vulture or whatever the fuck it is, apparently we have now been informed by DC / Warner Brothers that it's not the DCEU.
Oh, yes. Okay, I forgot about this part.
And she even says it in there in that quote. It's the DC universe. That's how she keeps calling it. So it's the DCU. That's how she kept calling it anyway. When I was hearing you talk about it, it was the DC universe, and it's the universe that's had some asshat at like a Comic-Con, I think San Diego Comic-Con, like 2015. I can't remember the asshat's name, and I can't find it in the article I'm currently looking at. So he'll just remain as asshat. And
that's better, anyways.
And he apparently made the comment on stage about a DCEU, and apparently the power of the internet can make a universe.
Yeah, apparently.
You don't need a god. You just need the internet, apparently, to make a fucking universe. Jesus Christ. And so they apparently made it up. So it's really the DC universe is how she was saying it. So I guess I would go with that. So it's no longer the DCEU. So if you say the DCEU, go fuck yourself.
No, that's such horseshit. I don't think I could
call it whatever the hell I want.
Well, somehow DCEU had to be put out there.
Well, this guy said it.
That's a branding effort from someone.
Okay, I see. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Keep going.
Well, my whole thing is, why would the internet throw in extended universe? Why? Wouldn't it just be easier to be, there's the Marvel Cinematic Universe and the DC... DCCU. I had to pause there for a second. I'm like, yeah.
Well, okay, actually, let me pretty much ignore everything I just said beforehand about it being Comic-Con. So I found the part in the article. It turns out the title the entire pop culture sphere has been using to describe Warner Brothers' shared universe based on DC Comics character isn't and never was official. Instead, DCEU was all the result of a joke made in 2015 EW, so I guess Entertainment Weekly column, that caught on thanks to an ironically placed trademark sign. Nobody inside WB or DC uses the Extended Universe moniker, and by all accounts actually discourage its. So what's the alternative? DC Universe. There you go. So apparently it was an article written in the Entertainment Weekly, and then apparently there was a trademarked logo next to it. I guess people took off with that.
This has to be no. Going back to the quote by Diane Nelson, she refers to it as the DC movie universe.
Oh, is that what she was saying?
Yeah. You will see the DC movie universe being a universe. Yeah, so that's such horseshit. The DCEU was created by someone. Like
apparently this guy in a 2015 EW would call him, and it just caught on from there. That's what this says. So who wrote this? We'll blame it all on this person. Let's see what his crappy name is. Alex. All right. It's a simple name as an Alex. His last name's Leadbeater.
I'm trying to find something. A lot of it is DC is officially stepping away from its expanded cinematic universe, embarrassing DCEU roles. This is horrible that when you Google DCEU, that's all I Googled. 15 embarrassing roles that DCEU actors want you to forget. There's 10 DC. Oh, never mind. That's on Easter eggs. DCEU officially stepping away from its expanded universe, embarrassing DCEU roles. DCEU has a new approach to continuing. Fuck. Continuity. Fuck. You read it. Warner Brothers has completely changed directions with DC. Anyways, there's just a bunch of bullshit. But it's hard to find. It actually, I will give them credit. It is hard to find anything that from the WB, straight from the WB, that says DCEU, other than Wikipedia, which is not from straight from WB.
Right. So it's officially the DCMU. Get it right. We started it now.
Yep. There we go. We're going to start referring it to as the DCMU.
The DCMU CMM.
Trademark. There we go. Perfect.
Officially added to it.